In this video, we're going to discuss the airlock behavior. All right, so I want to give you a tour around. This is just a little space outpost that I've got set up here. I've got some sleeping quarters and a little observation deck and some experiment equipment here. We're going to go outside. This planet that I'm on has a bit of an atmosphere, but it's a little less than what we're used to on Earth. And so we can go outside, but only for a limited time. I'm just going to depressurize this. That's going to close that door. We're going to see a depressurization indicator. And then when that clock ticks down, the light comes on, door opens, and the air pressure is a lot less here on this planet. And you can see that I can kind of like jump much higher. Okay, fall a little slower, but as I'm doing this, you can see my health is actually getting lowered. If you look at the bottom right hand corner, my health is actually ticking down, not just because I'm jumping, just because I'm outside. So let's go back inside and repressurize this. So I'm still getting injured, but the repressurization is taking place. Okay, that repressurization is done. I'm no longer taking damage. I'm going to close that up just to make sure that we're safe. And then I set up a little health pack over here to reset myself to full health. All right, so that's the airlock. The airlock is a way to, differentiate the pressure, the air pressure on one side of a door versus the other. Let me show you how that all works. All right, so as you can see, there's a lot going on here, but really this behavior is much simpler than it appears. I probably went a little overboard with the setup, but I wanted a nice visual for you. So we have a couple of doors here. These are just regular doors. I've got them set on a sliding door behavior. I've got them linked to this button, and the button is linked to the lights to turn the lights on and off. So this is just standard door switch setup. Same thing with the other side. Okay. Now this door is named inner door, which is really important. And this door is named outer door. Okay, again, really important, but otherwise set up virtually the same. And we have these lights here set up, and these are toggled, or they're toggled by this switch here. So toggle object. All right. And then it's this switch that has our airlock behavior on it. There it is. All right, so let's step through the parameters together. So we have airlock type. Our choices are air and water, which I do want to go over water in a little bit, but we're going to focus on air for now, and then I'll talk about the difference for water, okay? So right now we have air, and the air pressure, you can tell the air level is 30. So if I set that at 100, I wouldn't take any damage. The air pressure on either side would be exactly the same. There wouldn't be any problem. If I set it a little lower, then the damage tick is a little bit lower. And then if I set it a lot lower like I did here at 30, that's a lot, it's a big difference, 30%. So I'm taking damage quite a bit faster. Water level doesn't really matter for air setup, so you can ignore that. The prompt text is just the same as we always see, where it says E to begin. That's beginning the pressurization or depressurization, whichever applies. We have the use range, which is how close do I need to be to the object with this behavior in order to interact with it. Then we have our depressurized text, and so it says depressurize in, and it's counting down from the delay, which is 5 seconds. Same thing with pressurizing, it'll count down from 5. Then it has door name 1 and door name 2. Inner door, that's the one on the left. Outer door, that's the one on my right. So it needs to know which door to open when it's activated. So you'll need to give it specific names. Make sure you name those carefully. And then we already talked about the delay. That's just how long will it take for it to pressurize or depressurize. NPC drowning, again, doesn't really apply to air, but will to water. So we'll talk about that in a moment. And then we have our sound. Now our sounds, I'm just putting a switch sound when I activate the switch. I could also have a sound here for while it's taking place, that pressurization timer, that 5 seconds. But I'd have to go find a sound that lasted 5 seconds and sounded good, and I really just didn't need to do that, so I chose not to. Okay, so that's the way the airlock will work. Now you could also set this up for water. So the way that would work is, let's suppose we wanted to flood this chamber with some water, right? Then we would want the water level to be just under the surface of the ground. So the way we would do that is we go here to the terrain painter, and then we go into view options. Make sure your water is ticked on both the editor and the level tick box here, so you can actually see the water while you're setting this up. And then here under the view, the terrain editor under water, we have all the options for water. We're not going to walk through all these different various options here because it's kind of out of scope. But I will point out that the water height in this case is really, really low, and our current height is much higher than just 0, right? Because this is a mountain level, so it's kind of high up. So you need to determine, okay, what is my current height, and then adjust that accordingly. So if I just look at the floor, for example, and I look at the position, I can see I'm up 1,200 units or more. So really, I would probably set that at like 1205 or something like that, just underneath the surface, but not high enough where it's going to peek through. Remember, water has this sort of wave effect to it, and so sometimes as it's kind of motioning and waving, it'll just kind of peek out a little bit. So you want to make sure it's low enough where it's not going to be able to be seen. And then when you activate the, oops, let's go back to the airlock behavior. When you activate the water, it's going to raise that water level up from wherever its starting position is to however many units you want. So it'd go from 1,200 to 1,500, for example, or whatever it is that you set it up to. So you could flood this chamber, and then maybe when the door opens, instead of opening to an alien planet, I'm opening to, like, maybe I'm in an underwater base, and I open the airlock, and then I swim out into like an ocean or a lake or something like that. So that'd be kind of a cool setup too, but a little too much for me to do both in one scene. So I just wanted to explain the difference between the two. But that's everything you need to know about airlock behavior. If you enjoyed the video, or if you learned anything new, please be sure to click the like button down below. It helps me out a lot, makes me feel good too. If you're new here, or if you just haven't subscribed yet, we just passed our really important milestone, 500 subscribers. I'm really excited about that. Really thankful to everybody that's subscribed so far. Let's march towards 1,000 together. So be sure to subscribe. And if you'd like a notification for whenever new videos are posted, just click the bell icon. That'll let you know when anything new is available for you. And thanks so much for watching all the way through. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Hey, don't forget there's a written guide for every behavior, including ones I haven't yet covered on this channel. And if you want to learn some more, why don't you check out this video next.